So I just stumbled upon this Pennybase project, and wow, it's like a super stripped back backend-as-a-service. It's less than 1,000 lines of Go code.
That's wild. I mean, how can something so compact handle all these back-end features? It sounds revolutionary.
Right? It implements file-based storage, authentication, and real-time updates, all just using CSV files. Think about that.
CSV files for data storage? I can totally picture that. Human readable too. It must make debugging super easy, right?
Exactly. Plus, it keeps everything append-only. Every update creates a new version. Imagine how cool that is for tracking changes.
Oh wow, so every record is like a time capsule. You can always go back and see the history of your data.
Absolutely. And since it keeps the latest version for reads, it's super efficient too. No complicated database queries.
Speaking of efficiency, how does it handle user authentication? I bet it's streamlined too.
It uses session cookies and basic auth. Users just send a login request and get a session cookie for subsequent API calls.
That sounds smooth, and no crazy over-engineered security measures, just simple but effective methods.
Exactly. And it even has role-based access control using CSV as well. I mean, that's an interesting twist on permissions.
Wait, how does that actually work? Like, can you define custom roles through CSV too?
Yes, each permission rule in permissions.csv defines access to different resources. It's all pretty straightforward.
That's impressive. So if a user meets the criteria in those rules, they can access the resource. It's very clear.
Exactly. You can have different permissions for create, read, update, and delete actions. It's all about simplicity.
And all in human-readable CSV. You don't often see simplicity in the world of back-end frameworks these days.
Totally. Plus, Pennybase even serves static assets directly. You can just drop your HTML and JS in a specific folder.
That's so useful for a quick prototype. It feels like a full-featured back-end without the bulk.
Right? And they have a hook function for extending functionality. You can tweak it without diving deep into the code.
That's very smart. Just imagine how many ways people could customize it for their needs. It opens so many doors.
Hold on. The hook can modify the resource data before it's saved. That's a game changer for validation.
No way. It lets you enforce custom rules right before saving. So you could even add metadata automatically.
Exactly, like adding a timestamp or user ID. This functionality could be a lifesaver for shared projects.
I love how user-focused it is. With all those features, it's like it's meant for real-world applications.
For sure. And did you catch that contributions are welcome? They want people to keep the code clear and simple.
That's a refreshing approach. It encourages collaboration without bloating the project, which is usually a risk.
Exactly. They're keeping it lean but powerful. It's reminiscent of how early programming environments worked.
I never thought about it that way. It's kind of a return to basics, which can spark creativity.
Yeah. Like, the simplicity means it's accessible for newcomers, but powerful enough for seasoned developers.
That balance is so difficult to find in tech. This could really democratize back-end development.
Totally. So, imagining projects built on Pennybase, what do you think the most appealing aspect would be?
I think it's the combo of low overhead and flexibility. You can just focus on building without back-end pain points.
Exactly. And since everything is defined in plain text, it lowers the barrier to entry, especially for non-experts.
That's true. It could empower people to launch projects who may not have back-end experience. Super exciting.
Yeah, it makes you imagine all the creative solutions people could devise with such a framework.
Right? And it really challenges the norm of back-end complexity. It's a refreshing perspective.
This whole concept of back to basics in development is pretty inspiring. It makes tech feel more approachable.
Absolutely. I'm definitely intrigued to see how people will adapt Pennybase for different kinds of projects.
Same here. Anyone interested in diving into back-end development should really check this out.
Totally. I'm walking away with so many ideas about how I might leverage something like this.
Exactly. It opens a world of possibilities without overwhelming complexity. That's exciting.
And thinking about it, how will this evolve as more people start using Pennybase? That's the million-dollar question.
For sure, but for now, it feels like a breath of fresh air in a tech world full of bloat.